things. So basically, we're seeing that they're taking this diagram here, and they're enlarging it, and they're kind of showing some of the diagram that comes up. All right, and basically the goal here is they want to know how much space is in between the end of this design and the truck, because it's evenly spaced. So basically, like, I'm going to give an X there, what is this distance? Okay, how much space in between the now one thing I could do is find the distance of this diagram. That's going to be a big help there, because if I could do that, I could subtract from the distance in between the two trucks, which is 17.2. Now, a couple things I see right away. Number one, I see that this side has 3 slashes on it and is a 4.5. So if this is 4.5, I could say this side is 4.5 here. And then I have 2 legs of a right triangle. Hopefully the battery lasts before we finish this question. All right? And it gives me 7.5 for this distance here. This is 7.5 right here. Now, the kind of funny part about this, and we've gone over this, isosceles triangle here, right? Let me take that out, and let me just look at that here. So here you have an isosceles triangle. We know that because 2 sides are the same. One thing I could do in an isosceles triangle is I could give it an altitude. Now, if I give it an altitude, what it does is it actually bisects the bottom side. It bisects the bottom side into 2 equal pieces. So basically what I could do here is say that this side here, if I basically ends up making a rectangle, would also be 2.7, right? Because we split this 5.4 up. That's what we did right here. These are the 2 little red sides, 2.7 and 2.7. So I could say that this side here is 2.7, which gives me a total for this skateboard design of 10.2. Now I know in between the trucks, was 17.2. So if I want to find the difference there for these 2 spots here, one thing I could do is say, okay, let me do 17.2 minus 10.2, and that gives me 7. 7.2 minus 10.2 gives me 7. Now, does that mean each of these is 7? No, that means the difference between this and this is 7. So I actually need to split it up into 2 pieces. So let me take the 7, divide that by 2, and I would get a 3.5. And that's what would be the distance here in between. Get a lighter color so you can really see it. In between here would be 3.5 and 3.5. Why is that? Because this whole piece was 17.2 and in here was 10.2. So we took that 7 and we kind of split it up to 2 pieces. So when they ask how much space is in between each end of the design to the nearest wheel truck, you would say 3.5. Be careful not to say 7, because 7 is not the distance between. It's basically the difference between 17 and 10.2.